Welcome to Section 3.1, Part 1. This is the 24th session of the ISACA CISA exam prep series. In this session, we'll cover how projects are governed and managed. We'll work through several questions. Why does a project need governance at all? How is a project team structured? Who does what on that team? How do you balance time, money, and deliverables? And how do programs and portfolios fit above single projects? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because weak project management is where value quietly leaks away. Picture a retailer rolling out a new warehouse system. If nobody owns the budget, costs drift. If roles are fuzzy, work falls through the cracks. As the control expert in the room, you spot those gaps early. That is far cheaper than fixing them after go live. So why does a project need governance at all? Because without it, every part of the project is exposed. Governance is the set of structures, policies, and controls around a project. It keeps the work aligned with business goals and risk appetite. Every key decision should trace back to the business case, and the promised benefits should be reviewed again and again. Good project management juggles three kinds of factors. Hard factors like deliverables, quality, cost, and deadlines. Soft factors like team dynamics, leadership, and communication. And environmental factors like office politics and stakeholder expectations. One more thing to watch. When outside specialists lead a big technology rollout, keep them honest. The solution must fit the business, not a one-size-fits-all template. What exactly is project management? It's applying knowledge, skills, and tools to hit a defined goal. Think meeting agreed requirements, budget, and deadlines. It runs as a repeatable business process. It begins at the project charter and wraps up when the work closes. Along the way, it moves through familiar stages: initiating, planning, executing, controlling, monitoring, and closing. How is a project team structured? It depends on where the authority sits. There are three common shapes. In a functional structure, the project manager has no real authority. Work stays inside departments, and the manager can only advise. In a projectized structure, the project manager holds full authority. That covers the budget, the schedule, and the team. In a matrix structure, authority is shared with department heads. Now, who picks the leader? Big project requests go to a steering committee to be prioritized. The committee names a project manager. That person need not come from the technology team. They get operational control and the resources to deliver. Here's a nuance for you as an auditor. You might join the team purely as a control advisor. That is advisory work, not an audit. And heavy involvement may bar you from auditing the system later. Who does what on a project team? Let's walk the key roles. The steering committee sets overall direction and owns the outcome. Senior management commits the resources and visible backing. The project sponsor funds the work and owns the data and application. User management supplies people and approves deliverables. The user project team brings the subject matter expertise. The project manager runs the day-to-day and resolves conflicts. Quality assurance checks that deliverables meet requirements at each phase. Systems development builds and supports the technical environment. The security officer makes sure protection is baked in throughout. A security engineer hardens the design against vulnerabilities. And a privacy officer protects the rights of data subjects. You don't memorize every bullet. You just know who is accountable for what. How do you balance time, money, and deliverables? Picture three elements pulling on each other: deliverables, duration, and budget. Demanding deliverables usually mean longer timelines and bigger budgets. Budget comes from the resources you need, priced out, and here's the classic trade-off. Resources multiplied by duration tends to stay roughly constant. Use few people, and the project drags on. Throw many at it, and the timeline shrinks. But there are practical limits at both ends. Too long is unacceptable. Too many hands at once becomes unmanageable. How do programs and portfolios sit above single projects? Start with the portfolio. A portfolio is every project running in the enterprise right now. A program is a tight group of related projects and tasks. They share strategies, objectives, budgets, and schedules. Programs are bigger, longer, riskier, and more strategic than projects. Imagine a company replacing its core finance platform, the infrastructure work, the training, the process redesign. Each is a project, and together they form one program. Programs need their own owner, manager, and team. Run program and project methods in parallel, but keep them separate. And start a program with a written assignment from its sponsor. Now, who keeps all this organized? That's the Project Management Office, or the PMO. It governs how projects are run, not their content. It's a permanent, properly staffed structure. Its job is to lift quality and protect project success. Portfolio management optimizes the whole set, not each project alone. It prioritizes work, coordinates resources, and shares knowledge. And it leans on a portfolio database of owners, schedules, and costs. Why bother with benefits realization? Because a finished project is not the same as a valuable one. Benefits realization makes sure the investment actually pays off. It looks past the project to the full life of the new system. You name the benefit, set a target, and track it over time. You document assumptions and assign someone to own each benefit. A simple anchor here is return on investment. Compare the value gained against the money spent. Say a firm builds an online ordering portal. Costs include the build and the controls around the data. Benefits include higher profit and lower support costs. If returns keep missing target, your development process may be weak. Benefits often surface only after people settle into the new system. How does a project actually get started? Someone gathers the information needed to win approval. That goes into a charter or terms of reference. It names the objective, the stakeholders, the manager, and the sponsor. Approving that document is the green light to begin. You can kick things off a few ways. One-on-one meetings build two-way communication. A kick-off meeting tells the team what must be done. A start workshop builds buy-in and a shared view early. Many teams blend two or more of these. How do you turn a goal into something you can plan? First, make your objectives SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Then break the work down in 2 steps. An object breakdown structure lists the components of the solution. A work breakdown structure lists the tasks to build those components. The work breakdown becomes your baseline for cost and resources. Its pieces are called work packages. Each package has a clear owner and defined objectives. Keep packages short, independent, and never duplicated. A rough rule is no longer than 10 working days each. From there, you build task lists with owners and deadlines. Those roll up into a living project schedule. So let's bring it together. Governance keeps a project tied to the business case. Structure decides who holds the authority. Clear roles make sure work gets owned. Deliverables, duration, and budget pull against each other. Programs and portfolios organise many projects at once. And benefits realisation proves the investment was worth it. Get the foundations right, and the build phases go smoother. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on RooCloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.